wants us to start investing in products made in Georgia. Coming up, I have a list of where you can buy.
An entire family attacked by the coronavirus. They now need your help to get one last member who is in the ICU as we speak back in recovery. I'll tell you how you can help coming up.
We know about the alarming racial disparity in coronavirus cases, but now what? Tonight, Black leaders break down what's next.
But first, CBS 46 in storm mode tonight. Thanks for joining us at 9. I'm Sean Gables.
And I'm Rick Fulbaum. And overnight storms could bring hail, strong winds, even possible tornadoes. Meteorologist Ella Dorsey tracking the system for us. All right, Ella, what's going on?
Well, you can already see the line developing, Rick, right now. It's pushing out of the Ohio Valley. Look at all of the yellow boxes. Those are severe thunderstorms, even a few tornadoes embedded in this line that will move down into Georgia through the overnight hours. So we're going to see a threat for all of the risks across the board, which will occur really early morning tomorrow morning. So between now and midnight, Northwest Georgia could see a line of some thunderstorms, not expecting severe weather between now and midnight. It's really around 4 a.m. that this line reaches Georgia. See all of these little pink circles here? That indicates to me that this line is going to have large hail embedded in it as it moves through Georgia. It reaches Metro Atlanta around 5 or 6 a.m., moves south of the city by 7 a.m. So it's going to be a quick moving system. By the time most of us wake up, it will already be through. But we're also going to see a lot of lightning with this system. So you could wake up to some pretty loud storms overnight. A pretty high risk for high winds and hail, low risk for tornadoes, but it's still there. We could still see some turning in the atmosphere. So coming up throughout the hour, I'm going to break down everything you need to know so you can stay safe overnight. And we'll take a look at a very windy day this system will bring us tomorrow. Stay tuned.
Georgia Governor Brian Kemp extending the state's shelter in order place.
That's right, Sean. He held a news conference today. It lasted for about an hour or so. The governor saying the order will now last until the end of April.
All of the provisions of the statewide shelter-in-place order will remain in effect. I want to thank everyone who has followed these directives. I certainly applaud your patience.
The governor also announced all short-term vacation rentals in the state will be temporarily suspended. That does not include hotels, motels, and campgrounds, though. An additional 1,000 National Guard members are also being activated, bringing the total now to 3,000. Guard members will assist healthcare workers, food banks, and long-term care centers.
Georgia's coronavirus cases have jumped by more than 1,000 just in the past 24 hours. The Department of Health announcing tonight there are 10,204 confirmed cases. Nearly 1,300 patients are in Fulton County. Statewide, 370 people have died from COVID-19. And tonight, Governor Kemp is asking everyone to buy Georgia. He's concerned about the impact the crisis will have on Georgia farms and businesses. CBS 46's Barmel Lyons has more.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Today, Governor Kemp announces it's time to invest locally.
Every purchase matters, and every dollar spent provides relief.
Local Chris Lippert says he agrees.
Buying locally is definitely a step in the right direction because, those are the businesses that are going to get hit the hardest.
Now more than ever, I hope you will join me in supporting our farmers and agribusiness leaders by purchasing Georgia-made and Georgia-grown products.
Beyond peanuts and peaches, Georgia manufactures some of the biggest products from companies like Coca-Cola, Savannah Bee Company, Lane Southern Orchards, and more. But this couple thinks buying locally may be harder than it sounds.
I'm trying not to leave the house that much, so it's like if I'm going to Publix, I'm going to buy what Publix has.
At the end of the day, Lippert says we're all in this together.
As long as we can help prevent more of those guys from closing, the more normal our life's going to be when we come out of this.
Whether it's buying your fruits and vegetables or investing in your local mom and pop shop, every purchase matters because we're all in this together. In Atlanta, I'm Barmel Lyons, CBS 46 News.
The coronavirus hitting multiple members of one Metro Atlanta family. They're not putting their hope in an experimental treatment to save the life of a loved one battling the disease. CBS 46's Trayson Bragg has more now on how you can help. Trayson.
I want you to take a look at this picture, Rick. Every adult you see in the picture has COVID-19. The one who needs your help to survive is laying in a bed in the hospital you see behind me.
There's a lot of tears. There was a lot of anxiety, a lot of sleepless nights.
The coronavirus pandemic hit the Bloomfield family harder than most. Carrie, his pregnant wife, and her father were all attacked by the virus.
Right about when I was getting sick, my father-in-law started feeling ill as well. And we would FaceTime and talk on the phone daily and compare our symptoms.
While Carrie's symptoms started disappearing, his father-in-law's worsened. Last Monday, Stephen Feldman was rushed to the emergency room. Thanks to quarantine protocol, no family member was allowed in the hospital with him.
We got a call early Tuesday morning that, he had been put on the ventilator and into the ICU, and that was, obviously devastating for us.
As the days rolled by, doctors saw little to no improvement.
It's horrendous. I mean, that's just what it is. It's so scary, and I think the biggest part is, you can't go in there and sit with him and hold his hand.
The Bloomfield started researching experimental treatments and stumbled across plasma infusion. In the treatment, doctors take plasma from someone who survived COVID-19 and use it to help others defeat the virus.
So for someone to donate plasma, they need to be 14 days or longer after they've recovered from the infection.
Dr. Holland tells me each donation can potentially save the lives of 3 people battling the virus. Now, if you tested positive for COVID-19 and you want to help save a life during this deadly pandemic, you could reach out to Atlanta Blood Services at the number at the bottom of your screen. You can call them to see if you qualify to donate plasma. Reporting live in Sandy Springs, I'm Trayson Bragg, CBS 46 News.
I'm Alicia Roberts at the Live Desk. Tomorrow, wear your blue and share your photos using #LightItBlue. It's for a national effort to recognize our healthcare heroes and frontline workers during this pandemic. Taking a live look at Mercedes-Benz, which will be lit up in blue tomorrow at 8 p.m., along with the College Football Hall of Fame, City Hall, and the Skyview Ferris wheel. The initiative began in the UK. Hundreds of major venues across the U.S. will be participating, including Times Square in New York and the Staples Center in L.A. At the Live Desk, Alicia Roberts, CBS 46 News.
National Guardsmen are doing their part to help local communities in need during the pandemic. 20 troops passed out food today at a drive-through pantry in Atlanta. This was at Berean Seventh-day Adventist Church. The Atlanta Community Food Bank partnered with the church to make this happen. The city of Atlanta making sure children do not go hungry. We were there as students picked up meals at the Thomasville Recreation Center today. Breakfast and lunches are available between 10 a.m. and noon at 6 recreation centers across the city. Doctors and first responders at Emory Healthcare got a meal on the house today. 5 Bistro Restaurant helped provide 100 meals for those working on the front lines at Emory Hospital in Decatur.
Racial disparity in coronavirus cases now being reported all over the country. With Atlanta being the epicenter of Black culture, we asked local leaders here how we got here and what's next. CBS 46's Brittany Miller has the details.
Over the last 48 hours, you've seen these national headlines pop up everywhere. Black communities hit with higher rates of coronavirus infection and death. Atlantans explain why.
The prevalence of heart disease, of diabetes, of kidney failure, of heart issues, when we look at all those things, it runs rampant in the African American community.
Here are the numbers in Georgia. Although the census reports more white people living in the state, Black people make up close to 20% of coronavirus cases, compared to white people who make up 15%. More than 60% is unknown.
Sadly, not surprised, mainly because of the persistent health disparities that exist in the Black community.
Nancy Flake Johnson is the president and CEO of the Urban League in Atlanta and is now part of the state coronavirus task force. She says these numbers are directly related to systemic issues and a lack of access in Black communities.
There's a dual responsibility here, but when you don't have access to fresh fruits and vegetables in your community, when your communities are intentionally disinvested and people don't have access to quality education and, poor healthcare access.
So we have this information. Now what? Johnson and others agree the next step is using the data to send resources where they're needed most.
They should be prioritized for testing.
Testing site on the corner in the hood would do some great service to make sure that people are getting the proper attention and the care that they need.
Johnson says she'll use the task force to give every vulnerable community a voice and believes other members will do the same. Brittany Miller, CBS 46 News.
We have breaking news at 9 o'clock.